thing definitely rolled. Do you have a morning routine? And if you do you get frustrated when your morning routine's interrupted? Because I definitely have a morning routine, and that's been amplified, and really as I get older, my morning routine becomes more and more of a non-negotiable. And the reason I say that is we're traveling this week, and I think my morning routine is going to be messed up. That's the one thing I don't like about traveling is your morning routine is never, not complaining, just I've been kind of behind on making shorts and reels, so I'm taking some time, and I'm doing that. Like I have like 5 or 6 queued up that I have to put voiceovers on, so. Okay, so I just finished making a couple of shorts. One has me particularly excited. So yesterday's vlog, I gave away some studio monitors, and I basically repackaged that into a short. I love the difference between long form content and short form content because you have to package them completely differently. Challenge of having to tell the same exact story, but just in a completely different way. And that's all that to be said. Here's the short. I'm giving away some studio equipment for free to one of my friends. If you've ever had a job or hobby or whatever for a number of years, you realize that you slowly start accumulating a bunch of crap, and eventually you have to get rid of that crap. That is exactly what I'm going to do today. I asked my friend if he wanted some stands, and he said yes. After almost killing myself, I said this.
These aren't going back home with me.
After giving him that disclaimer, then he went ahead and showed me this.
So this is on Bubbly Fergie. This is the sample.
After we both agreed, I decided to play some drums, and then I went home without the stand. So you really figure out how good a story is or how good of a storyteller you are when you have to package a full story like that was like 7 or 8 minutes into 35 seconds. It might rain in a few minutes. So I got this question kind of frequently, and I figured I would take some time to answer it right now. The question's gonna be, what camera should I get for posting like videos of me like doing stuff like on a guitar or doing like just random like vloggy style stuff? Like, do I need the fancy $7,000 camera, or can I get away with something a little bit cheaper? And my answer always is, it depends on what you want to actually do with the setup. When you're purchasing, this can apply to other things besides just a camera, but when you're buying something in life, you need to figure out what your use cases are going to be and then base your purchase off of that. So for example, if I want to haul a ton of drum gear or something like that, buying a Toyota Corolla over a Toyota RAV4 or a hatchback probably is not the best idea. I probably want that hatchback to be able to fit everything. That doesn't apply to everybody, obviously, but the same thing with cameras. Sometimes, like, do you need like 4K 120, which is what this camera does, because that's going to be expensive, or can you get away with something that shoots in 4K 60 or even 1080? So for those of you that are curious, I am currently using a Sony a7S III with a 12-24 on this lens, and then a fancy little Sony microphone on top of that. And to get all of that, that's gonna run you about $7,000. Not everybody needs that, but that's what I'm currently using. Something that would be similar, like in the same vein, but a little bit cheaper, if you want to stick with Sony, would be like the Sony a7 IV and a 16-35. And you don't even have to get an f2.8, which is something that's gonna drive the cost up. You could even get something like an f4. It's gonna be a lot cheaper, but it's gonna give you that focal length. You just have to make sure that you have enough light so that you're not like in the dark. And then you don't even have to stick with Sony. You can go to Canon, Nikon, pretty much any camera, like modern camera, is going to look great, especially if you're just posting to the internet. It just depends on what your use case is and what you ultimately need it for. I'll put a couple of recommendations that I think are good with like various prices and everything down in the description. Hopefully that answered your question, and if you have any more, awesome. also there's a bunch of people that just took off their clothes and they're swimming in the lake directly behind you. So I'm probably gonna get out of here because things are getting kind of weird.